MFA updates
Good morning สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to MFA Update, a weekly program that focuses on Thailand's foreign affairs and activities. You're here with me, Nishaka Phumhi. This week we are going to talk with Kun Prinat Apirat, Deputy Director General of the Department of International Economic Affairs. She will discuss youth engagement and women empowerment in APEC 2022 Thailand.The
foreign affairs that matter. Special guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the MFA updates.
Welcome, Kun Prinat, to the program. Thank you for joining us, and good morning.
Good morning, Grace. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much. As we know that advancing women's economic empowerment are high on APEC 2022's agenda, and as Thailand hosted the APEC Women and Economy Forum last month, can you share with us key discussion points and outcomes from the meeting? Like, how did the meeting contribute to promoting greater inclusion of women in the economy?
Sure. Well, let me begin by sharing some background information on APEC's work in this area. APEC has actually been working to advance women's economic integration in the region for over 2 decades. However, women of diverse backgrounds continue to face multiple barriers to economic empowerment. So in 2019, women, SMEs, and inclusive growth was identified as a priority by Chile to give new momentum to our efforts.And APEC member economies adopted the La Serena Roadmap for Women and Inclusive Growth to drive greater integration and women's empowerment in the Asia-Pacific region. So the La Serena Roadmap aims to strengthen approaches to catalyze policy actions in 5 key action areas.The first one is empowering women through access to capital and markets. The second area is strengthening women's labor force participation. The third area is in improving access of women to leadership positions in all levels of decision making. The fourth area is in supporting women's education.Training and skills development and access in a changing world of work. And the fifth area is in advancing women's economic empowerment through data collection and analysis. So all of these actions will contribute to APEC's work on poverty reduction and raising living standards in our economies, as well as to achieving gender equality and women's empowerment in line with the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So in Thailand's host year, we have continued APEC's work on women's economic integration. And at the recent APEC Women and the Economy Forum in Thailand on the 7th of September 2022, APEC member economies discussed how to advance women's empowerment.by identifying additional employment and emerging business prospects brought about by the rise of digital economy and e-commerce, as well as the practical application of the BCG economy model. So the meeting agreed to empower women into the digital age by bridging the gender-digital divide,which includes ensuring equitable access to the internet and digital skills training for women and girls of diverse backgrounds. The aim is to equip them with the knowledge and skills that will enable them to seize new opportunities to transition from being a part of the informal economy to the formal economy.and to access finance and markets through digital platforms. At the same time, the forum also acknowledged ongoing challenges to women's empowerment and emphasized our shared commitment to address all barriers to women's full and equal participation in all economic activities. So this includes addressing gender-based discrimination faced by women that hampers their access to finance and credit, lack of access to affordable and quality health care services, continued underrepresentation of women in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields, or the STEM fields and careers, and other barriers to women's leadership at all levels. And the 2022 APEC Women and the Economy Forum also reaffirmed APEC's commitment to collect and analyze sex-aggregated data, which also includes the STEM training and careers data to inform our decisions and actions towards equitable policy approaches and inclusive economic participation.
That is very interesting. And as APEC plays an important role as an incubator of ideas where member economies can translate recommendations into domestic policies and actions. So can you give us some examples of how Thailand put those policies for women empowerment into practice, please?
Let me share some concrete examples with you. In Thailand, the Department of Women's Affairs and Family Development, with the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, they have translated the policy guidelines from the La Serena Roadmap into concrete outcomes. So the Department of Women's Affairs and Family Development established learning centers on women and family development at the household and community level in 8 strategic provinces. This would be in Chiang Rai, Lamphun, Lampang, Khon Kaen, Srisaket, Nonthaburi, Chonburi, and Songkhla. So these centers seek to empower women and families with low income, those who do not have a high educational background, the unemployed, and single mothers, so that they can become self-reliant and have a better quality of life. The learning centers provide critical funding for vocational training and skills such as hairdressing, tailoring, cooking, hotel hospitality, and computing. They also support community networks and funds for skills development and business opportunities for the groups that I just mentioned. Mm-hmm. And in addition, these centers, they also cooperate with the Stock Exchange of Thailand to provide information on savings and access to funding so that women and their families are able to manage their funds more efficiently, generate higher income, and improve their quality of life. Another example is a book on bio-circular green economy, stories of women's economic empowerment, published by the Department of Women's Affairs and Family Development and the Center for Philanthropy and Civil Society, the National Institute of Development and Administration. And this book shares best practices on the role of women in inclusive and sustainable economic transformation. And it includes meaningful stories of success from Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. So from Thailand, we shared the story of Folk Charm, which is an organic cotton farm committed to the process of bio-circular green farming and manufacturing in Loei province. And we also shared the story of Titan Metal, a scrap metal recycling business dedicated to advancing the circular economy in Chachoengsao province. So these sustainable businesses run by our women entrepreneurs are certainly an inspiration. And Thailand will make sure that APEC supports more and more stories like theirs to inspire the next generation of game changers.
Thank you so much. And for the last question, I want to zoom out to see like the society as a whole. And because to change our path towards a more balanced and sustainable economic growth, all parties have to be involved, right?
Yes.
And this is why APEC 2022 prioritizes the whole of society approach through the BCG economy model.
Right.
And you have already talked about the issue of women empowerment, but youth is also a crucial element who will change our future. So can you tell us how APEC 2022 engage with young people?
Certainly. Thank you very much for the question. Well, APEC 2022 attaches great importance on intergenerational dialogue on policy matters with youth leaders across APEC economies. This year, our focus is on green recovery, inclusivity, and digital skills building. As part of the ministers responsible for trade, or the MRT meeting, which was held in May 2022, Thailand organized the APEC App Challenge, which is an annual coding competition where participating teams, they have a challenge and they have to build applications or digital solutions that help address each year's challenges. This year's theme is digital solutions for sustainable agri-food business, which embraces the core idea of the bio-circular green economy model. And the subject is also timely considering the current global economic challenges and the impact on food security. And the winners of the app challenge is actually an engineering duo from Thailand who developed the Kitchen at Venture app that can help reduce food waste while also offering healthy meal choices from local high-value producers. Well, and also in addition to the App Challenge Award, the Digital Prosperity Award will also be announced during the upcoming APEC ministerial meeting next month. The award recognizes the work of a participating team in the annual APEC App Challenge that has developed a tool or an application that uses innovation to increase prosperity and inclusive growth across economies in the Asia-Pacific region. This would be in recognition of an app or a tool that goes above and beyond the typical submission and holds promise for further sustainable development. So at the upcoming APEC Economic Leaders Week next month, Thailand will also host the APEC Voices of the Future 2022 during 12th to 19th November, where about 100 youth representatives from APEC member economies will come together to share their perspectives on the most pressing issues facing the Asia Pacific, particularly on climate change and sustainability. So during the program, our youth will have a great opportunity to present their Voices Declaration to the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, he will receive the Voices Declaration from our youth. And they will also visit the PTT Eastern Seaboard facilities to see how businesses turn chemical waste into refrigerants. They will visit the Panya Piwat Institute of Management to see how innovation adds value to Thai food, and also visit Naraya to learn how to create high-quality lifestyle products from Thai local fabrics and craftsmanship. So these activities will showcase the application of the BCG economy model as well, and which is the BCG is our overarching theme for APEC 2022.
These activities are very engaging and it seems to be fun too. So thank you so much, Kun Prinat, for sharing this information with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me today.
That was คุณปรีนัท อภิรัตน์ Deputy Director General of the Department of International Economic Affairs, talking about youth engagement and women empowerment in APEC 2022 Thailand. With that, we conclude our program for this week. If you want to listen to the previous episodes of the MFA Update, please visit the YouTube channel MFA Thailand, or you can check out our Facebook page, FM88 Radio Thailand English. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next time. I am Nishika Phumi. สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA Updates